a lot of really interesting, happy circumstances.
Ah, okay. And then you, so from the point where you realized that the wine was going to be the focus of your career, then you took the sommelier test and studied for it and got your certification, or was it after you were in a restaurant that was serving wine, you were in charge of that? I mean, when did this happen?
Well, I mean, that's why I was saying, like, I don't really know how one, because, like, there's no such thing as a sommelier test, right? Like, there are many different entities that certify for wine all around the world. Some are regional, some are national, some are global, some are service-based, some are theory-based, but none of them make you a sommelier. That's just a job title on a floor. But yes,
Okay.
I did eventually get my level 4, my diploma from the Wine and Spirit Education Trust. So all in from levels 1 to 4 was probably like a 8 or 9 year journey.
Wow.
Yeah, it takes a long time.
It does. It I've heard that before from other people who had the with set certification, and they say it does take a long time to get everything, and it's not easy either. You got to have a lot of knowledge on it. So you are now manager of a Mavericks, which is in New York. Mavericks is a steakhouse with a tremendous wine list, or what is Mavericks?
Well, I'm the owner of it.
Oh, yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah, I'm the owner of it. It is it's a steakhouse in the Hamptons with a Wine Spectator Grand Award recognized wine program. I'm also the wine director for Wildflower Farms, which is an Bears resort in the Hudson Valley. I am the resident sommelier for the Today Show. I have a national best-selling book called Big Macs in Burgundy. Kind of a few different things.
You really spread quite thin there. You mentioned book. You are author of Big Macs in Burgundy. What is that? Just pairing wine with everyday food?
Yeah, basically that's the subtitle of the book is Wine Pairings for the Real World, and it's basically just trying to take the idea of food and wine pairing and trying to, I hate the word dumb it down, because I don't think it's something that is particularly complicated to begin with, nor is it something that we should assume people need to have things dumbed down for them. It's just putting things into context, and sometimes putting things into context with foods that we recognize and enjoy on a much more daily basis is a way to reframe the concept. So that's what the book is about.
Oh, no, that sounds interesting. Is that still available on, in hard copy and online if someone is interested?
Yep. You can buy it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, independent bookstores across the United States. You can buy it a lot of places.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I've talked to different authors that the books become out of print, and I'm just curious if it was still available.
I've been very fortunate that it's done very, very well. It's still a top performer on Amazon.
Oh, good. That's the only book you've written, then? Just the one? Are you in the process of doing any more?
Maybe one day. All the other aforementioned things have kind of, taken a majority of my time, but maybe we'll get back to that one day. Writing a book is a unforgiving, unrelenting process, so you have to mentally be ready to. Like when you do it once, you have the naivete of not understanding the misery you're signing up for. But if you do it again, you really gotta be committed to it. Now you know.
And now you know what it's like.
Yeah. Now you know what you're signing up for.
Yeah, I've talked to authors before. I've had authors on the show, and they, I say, well, are you going to write another book? and I always get that same, I don't know type response, because they answer that first one, what's happening.
Well, I think it was Hemingway that said, the closest man will ever know to childbirth is to write a book.
I never heard that. Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine. Every time I've thought about writing a book, I thought, oh, no, I don't, and it's just, I throw the idea away as fast as it comes to my head. So, the wines that you have at the restaurant, are they, do they concentrate basically on domestic or California or New York, or are they worldwide, or what do you offer there?
It's an international wine program with a little over 500 selections that span from Northern Hemisphere to Southern Hemisphere, main staple countries, more esoteric countries, natural wine to classic wine, price ranges, $75 to $8,000 and everything in between.
Wow. So quite a wine cellar there.
Yeah.
That's all sorts of stuff there. I'm always impressed by the big selections of wine cellars. You
takes a lot to manage them.
Yeah, I can imagine. Are you the one that manages the cellar, or do you have someone else that is basically in charge of it, since you probably got your plate full of all sorts of other stuff running the restaurant?
Well, it's one of those things. I mean, today was inventory day. I'm always a part of inventory day. It's a very holy day in the monthly calendar of a restaurant. It's the first day of every month. But, the day-to-day, we definitely have a team that assists, and I'm very lucky to have that team.
Yeah, that's always good. And I'm curious about something, too, simply because, a guest recently and I were talking about the fact that a lot of time restaurant personnel are not trained in the wines. Are yours? Do you put them through a program, I guess, is what I'm looking at, or a familiarity phrase so that they can talk intelligently about the wines? How do you approach that?
Well, we're a restaurant in the Hamptons, so I'm not sure that you can apply the same model to us that you would to restaurants that are open year-round. We're open for 5 months out of the year. It's a 240-seat restaurant that on a Saturday night will see between 600 and 800 people. I have over 120 people on my staff. So the realities are it's not really physically possible to train everyone. That being said, we do have by the glass trainings and weekly check-in trainings and weekly, wine classes that are voluntary, but this is a very specific model, so I don't think that it could really be compared to like a traditional restaurant model.
Well, it's still, though, I mean, when you are serving over 500 wines on your list, you have the people, your waiters and waitresses, should have some knowledge of the wines that are available. Or do you have someone that, if your waiter is asked a question about wine, do they have a sommelier that they can pull over, if not use someone else and have them make suggestions and stuff? Or do you have your wait staff? Okay. I just, like I say, we were just talking about, I guess a couple of weeks ago, I guess it was, that we were talking about how restaurants, it's always good to have some knowledge about what's going on there. Let's see. I'm reading the resume, I guess, that was sent to me, and I keep jumping back to this pink, light pink, deep pink, orange skin wines and all that. You seem to be an advocate of these. Is that
an advocate of them? I'm not sure I'm following.
Additionally, Vanessa created a strong and unique skin contact section, okay, with education on light pink, deep pink, and orange skin contact wines. So it sounds like that created a strong and unique skin contact section.
I don't really think it's that unique. It's just, rosé, orange wines, white wines that are, fermented on their skins. Like, it's just it's no different than having a red wine section or a white wine section or a dessert wine section. Anything that's like the stylistic impression is totally driven by that short time period, that 12-hour to 48-hour time period on the skins, or total fermentation, which is a deviation from the traditional way that it's done, like with white wine. Just a way to categorize them. I wouldn't say it's something that, like, I think that I'm doing there's plenty of people that organize their wine programs that way, so I definitely wouldn't call myself unique in that, but we do categorize our wines that way.
I see. Okay, because it seems like orange wines are becoming a very, what's my word, mainline thing now. A lot of places, orange wine is becoming. I think
they're becoming a curiosity. I don't think they're quite. I wouldn't say mainstream. I offer them by the glass, by the bottle, have lots of conversations about them, and it still makes up a pretty small percentage of sales. But I definitely think that 10 years ago, nobody had ever heard of orange wine, so that's definitely a challenge.
Yeah, it's becoming something that I think more and more people are becoming aware of, and you're probably right. I think it might be just a curiosity thing. Orange wine. Let's give this a try, but then they realize that it's not a whole lot different than different blush wines or rosés. So,
right.
Yeah.
Well, that's why they all kind of go in the same category, right? It's a style that's dictated by a specific kind of skin contact as opposed to traditional white and red fermentations,
Right.
So sometimes you can't differentiate them from rosés.
Yeah, and then the flavor, if people don't look at the color at all, then it is just like a rosé. So, yeah, you're right. How long has the restaurant been open?
We opened last year. Last year was our first season. We're in our sophomore season now, so we're just trying to keep our heads above water. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize. I was thinking it was older than that. Well, that's good. At least you didn't try to make it through the COVID years. So many people had problems with that.
Yes, I'm very grateful we missed those.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So your it says here your menu has at least 50 selections under $100. This is includes steaks and local fish and all that stuff.
Yep, all that stuff. Steaks, local, seafood, vegetables, all the classic stuff that you look for at a steakhouse.
And, boy, you just the number of seats on that. So it's 5 months a year. Why 5 months?
240 seats, 5 months a year.
Why 5 months?
Do you know where do you know what the Hamptons is or where it is?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Okay. So that's the season, right? It goes May to September, and that's the season.
And it pretty much dies off from there. But you would think that you would get some sort of business after that. Well, maybe not. I don't know. I've never tried to run a business in the Hamptons, so yeah, I would have no idea how that works.
If you had like a 60-seat restaurant, sure, but not a 240-seat restaurant. You have to be able to do volume to be able to justify everything that comes with it, right? Like it's a scaled business, so 240 seats is not sustainable in a low season.
I see what you're saying. Okay, because I'm probably thinking a small restaurant, but 240 seats is quite a bit, and to maintain the staff and everything else, you would have to and keep it going. Yeah. Oh, okay. That explains it, at least to me, anyway. Um, do you have a go-to wine that you particularly like? You particularly enjoy?
A go-to wine, for what? Is there a price point or an occasion or
no,
a?
For an occasion, if you were going to have a wine, well, let's just say you were going to sit down and enjoy a nice wine of an evening with friends, and do you have one that you would particularly like to open and enjoy?
Nice wine with friends. I mean, I guess, the thing that's so great about wine is that it's so diverse, and there's just so many different things for so many different moods. I guess it depends if it's the winter or the summer, and if I'm with friends I like or friends that I just hang out with or friends that, there's a lot of variables there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, people ask me what's my favorite wine, and I always answer basically what you're saying too. I mean, it really varies depending on the situation, and all that. But I would think have wine that you would prefer over others, and that's what I'm getting at. What wine would you choose in a moderate price range if you were out shopping?
I'm not trying to be difficult in not answering that question. It's just one of those things where I don't know how to answer that because every wine shop is different, every season is different, every mood is different. But I can tell you that when I, walk into a wine shop and I'm picking up a bottle to meet a friend, I don't necessarily go to, the classic obvious choices like a Napa Cab or a red Burgundy. I see what sort of interesting stuff they might have. What are the little secrets that they, do they have an interesting Chiarasuolo or do they have a really fresh, fun Pinot Gris from Alsace? I try and see if there's something interesting, whatever that intrigue might be.
Well, there you go. You did answer the question because, you're looking for something that's not the classic, Cab, Chardonnay, whatever. You're looking for wines that will be, well, like you say, interesting, intriguing, and so that's basically the answer to the question, I would think. And Mike, do you have any comments, any questions, anything for Vanessa?
Let me check. I don't have anything. You've all pretty much answered. I'm looking on different channels here. No, everything's good. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, we have different channels that we look. Excuse me. If you have contact information for the restaurant, was it Mavericks? Do you have contact information that if someone's going to be in that area, they can contact you or the restaurant or something? And is reservations required? It sounds like it should be.
Reservations are recommended definitely on weekends. It's something that reservations are definitely. But we're on Resi, and a simple Google search will give you our Resi line, our Instagram line, our email line, our restaurant telephone line. We're definitely very easy to find.
Okay, just Mavericks, and that would be it.
Mavericks in Montauk.
Oh, Mavericks in Montauk. Okay. Yeah, because, So, all right, very good. Well, Vanessa, thank you for taking the time this evening or this afternoon for you. Oh, no, it is this evening. You're in New York.
Yeah, I'm in New York.
You're in New York, so it's not across the country. Thank you for taking the time this evening to join with us for a while and talk with us. And everyone out there, Mavericks in Montauk, open till when? The end of September, do you say, or?
It's always a little loosey-goosey, but sometime between September and October, yeah.
Okay. So if you're going up there for vacation over this next month there, then check it out. And thank you again, Vanessa, for taking the time to join us tonight, and best of luck to you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Have a good night.
Thank you. You too.
You too. Thank you very much now.
Bye.
Bye now. Okay. And there you go. Vanessa Price of Maverick. Her restaurant. Wow. And much bigger than I thought. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of those restaurants are little small, intimate places and all, but that's just, she cranks out the people and all that.
Yeah.
Spotify popped up. Why did Spotify? I just said Spotify. We're not on Spotify, are we?
Not live. I mean, we're on it, but
No,
we're not live. Just the archives.
Yeah, it just popped up here for some reason.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Hmm.
I don't know. So, tropical depression could be hitting us. Did you see that?
Yes. Yeah, been watching it.
We may be getting ourselves a whole bunch of rain here real soon.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. Why am I having trouble navigating my site tonight? Oh my gosh. I want to get into the news and stuff so I can share it in the next half hour, but I'm not being able to find it. Well, Olympics are still growing strong, so if anyone is, let's see, that goes there, that goes there. Okay, here we go. Maybe I've got one. No, that's not what I want. Okay, here we go. Olympics still going strong. We're winning some golds, and we're leading on the medal count, and everybody's happy and watching some interesting stuff there. All right, here we go. I found an article which I wanted to talk about for a little bit here. Gallo, everybody knows Gallo. Gallo owns like a zillion different companies, but Gallo recently launched into the beer business. They're going in partnership with Montucky Cold Snacks. And Montucky American Style Cold Snacks is a light, sessionable lager. Sessionable. Never heard of that word. Not that it doesn't exist. It's just designated to be crisp, clean, and refreshing. Says it's popular among outdoor enthusiasts and lovers of fun anywhere and everywhere. Montucky has an alcohol by volume of 4.1%, 102 calories, 4.95 grams of carbohydrates per 12-ounce can. So, Gallo is now part of the beer category, and this is the first venture into it. I don't know any. The article went on to tell a little bit more about the Montucky and how it's good for river floats and all that stuff, and light refreshing and everything. So we're looking at Gallo now in another category. Again, they are always expanding and jumping out there and doing all sorts of stuff. And this is their latest venture into something else. So we may be seeing them expanding a lot. I was going through other papers, and I found my ULO purifier decanter that we talked about. When was this? Back in April 21. We talked about this, and out of curiosity, I looked it up. And let me look it up again here real fast. ULLO LLC. Let's see if that takes me to it here. Wine purifier, ULO. This is the one that the purifier removes sulfites from it, and have filters and purifiers and glasses and all sorts of stuff in it. I looked it up, and it's still out there. It's still doing their thing. I hadn't seen it anywhere. I hadn't heard it anywhere, but it is still good. Free shipping, free rewards, 15% savings, guaranteed lowest price on the internet through their website. You can cancel anytime. It's a filtering system to remove sulfites. I'm not one to think that sulfites are going to hurt you anywhere in any way. So when someone says they're going to remove sulfites, I look at it with a slanted, roll my eye type look. But obviously, people are interested in having the sulfites removed, and this company is going strong because of it. Where to buy? You can get it through Amazon, Total Wines, Williams-Sonoma, Target, Walmart. They all carry it according to their website here. It seems like they're doing quite well. At the time when they first started, when we had them on back in 21, they were just basically just starting out, and they've, according to the website, they're doing really tremendously well. It's based out of Chicago, and it says that wine should be enjoyed the way the winemaker intended, free from sulfite preservatives. Well, yeah. And they're saying with lower histamines, that's usually what gives you the headaches too, is the histamine. So that might be a good thing. It was founded by chemists by the name of Kornacki, James Kornacki, has a PhD. And in 2015, we interviewed him in 2014, so we were right there at the beginning. If you are one to be concerned about sulfites and histamines in your wine, then you might try the ULO, ULLO. You can punch it in on search engine, any of your search engines. You look under ULO wine, and it will .com. It will come up, and you can check it that way. So, some people are concerned about sulfites and histamines and all that, and it's usually the histamines that gives you the headaches in wine. So there's something you can check into also. If you're always saying you get headaches from wine, it's probably the histamines, usually red wines, that cause it. And this ULO says that they remove all that stuff, so you can check that out. And let me go back to the inbox here and see. I was not prepared to do a whole lot of talking tonight, as you might be able to surmise. New book out, Uncorking. Let's see, though we're well into the 2020s, there are forces hell-bent on reviving the great mistake of the 1920s, prohibition. Yes, that's a good point, too, because I have heard different things. People went into ban alcohol. Idiots. I just saw this article, and it's bloody long. I'm not going to go through the whole thing with you. But I will give you the general idea of it. There are forces hell-bent on reviving the gravest mistake of the 1920s, prohibition. This time, instead of healing what was seen as an ill society beset by alcohol-related problems such as alcoholism, family violence, and saloon-based political corruption, that is a quote from Wikipedia, the justification is more personal, the impact of alcohol on one's health. I've read this to you over and over again about how they say you should not drink. It's, even one glass is bad for you and it's bad for your health and all this stuff like that. Well, this article is going on with the same basic concept. On January 4th, 2023, the World Health Organization, or WHO, self-righteously proclaimed, and I remember reading this to you and telling you about this, quote, "No level of alcohol consumption is safe for our health," end quote. And they went from there, and governments have picked that up, and they have expanded on that, and they have gotten crazy. There is a new book. Tony Edwards has written his second book, and it's entitled "The Very Good News About Wine: Authoritative Health Evidence the Health Authorities Don't Tell You." And it goes on and dispels some of the myths and stuff like that about wine that they're coming out with. And he has chapters on diabetes and dementia and the difference between gender and race and how the wine affects you and the effects on weight and your gut and all sorts of stuff here. So it might be worth getting the book. I don't know. It doesn't say here. Oh, yeah, here it is. Authoritative Health Evidence the Health Authorities Don't Tell You. The Very Good News About Wine by Tony Edwards. I may get that and read that. That sounds interesting. So there is a constant battle about wine and how much you should drink and how bad it is for you, and how it can cause problems and everything else. So this seems like this might be an interesting book. I'll make a note of this, and I will see if I can't go online and find it. The author, Tony Edwards, if you're all interested. And it's called The Very Good News About Wine. This article, by the way, is from the Oregon Wine Press. So it's a new article. This just came out today. Let's see what else we got to talk about here. Wine clubs are still struggling. I don't know why everybody's trying to promote them. Let's see. Okay. Highly significant impact on wine production from volcanic activity. Okay, let's see what this. We're getting some volcanoes. Excuse me. Volcanoes that are popping up around different places that are going. And this says that scientists from the University of Stockholm's History Department and Bolin Center for Climate Research looked at the Moselle Valley in northeastern France and southwestern Germany and also eastern Luxembourg, which had been a historic center of wine production and therefore a worthy place for analysis of the impact of volcanic eruptions. They looked at the impact on viticulture due to the climate cooling and using tax records for the number of barrels as well as sulfur data from Greenland and Iceland, and analysis of concentric growth rings of wood plants. Colder temperatures were created as a result of the volcano. The team discovered a clear pattern of reduction in wine production in the years after a volcano erupted. So there you go. When they do erupt, it's going to be a problem, but it's been some time since it's happened. They said they found that reduced harvest in the years 1481, 1601, 1674, 1767, and 1784. First 5 years after a volcano erupts, they have reduced wine or reduced grape production because it cools the air. That's why. But no, that was sort of anticlimactic from what the headline said. I expected something more. Yakima Valley, voted #1 best wine region in the United States. I guess United States is, in the United States, by Reader's Choice Awards. Yakima Valley, #1. Top 10, and these are voted on by people, not, quote, experts or paper people or anything. These are actual Reader's Choice Awards, so the people who voted on these are you and me. The list: Yakima Valley in Washington, #1. Temecula Valley in California, #2. Paso Robles in California, #3. Loudon, Loudon, Loudon Valley, or not Valley, it's not Valley, I'm sorry, all the rest of them were. That's in Virginia. #5, Suisun Valley in California. 6, Santa Barbara County in California. 7, Finger Lakes in New York. 8, Willamette Valley, Oregon. 9, Sonoma Valley, California. And 10, Grand Valley, Colorado. So those voted on by readers of USA Today, best wine regions of the country. Good areas there. I've been to 7 of them. So, all produce great grapes and everything. Okay. Let's see. I'm see if there's anything else there. Oh, this might be interesting. I've been talking about this off and on, and you say, how does it affect me? It affects you in price is what it does. Spotted lanternfly. It's still around. We haven't mentioned it in a long time, but it's still there, and it is spreading. And again, how this affects you, it affects you by price, because if some of your favorite wines are being destroyed by the spotted lanternfly, or if they have to dig out vines and replant, it's going to cost more. And guess who pays for it? You, in the long run. So we need to know what's going on with the spotted lanternfly. This article says, New York State and Cornell University experts provide update on the spotted lanternfly and tips for actions they can take to manage the invasive pest. And there's a seminar that was taking place today. It's over now. This just came out. I just saw this today, and it just came out, and yet this seminar is today from 10:30 a.m. to 11, and it was online. Wow, I wish I'd known that. I'd like to have seen that. Spotted lanternfly is described as a pest that feeds on more than 70 plant species. Wow. 70. I didn't realize. I knew they ate on other stuff, but 70. They were first found in New York State on Staten Island in August 2020. They have been observed in all New York City boroughs now and in several locations across the state. This is not good. They have been detected in Romulus, New York, and the Finger Lakes region, and they're working closely to try to combat them because they can destroy grapevines. An adult spotted lanternfly emerged this summer in New York State has been hearing concerns. As New York's have emerged, New York residents have been hearing concerns about how to control it. And they've been sharing tips as well as information on the life cycle, and expected the rest of the summer to try to control it more. And hopefully the winter seasons will kill it. So, I'm sorry I missed that online seminar that they just had. It was only a half hour. No, I was at a doctor's appointment anyway. I couldn't have listened. So, spotted lanternfly in the Finger Lakes area. 70 different plant species that little bug affects. That is frightening what it can do. Okay. Here is a blog. And we were just talking about it. I'm not going to get into this real deep here. This is a blog called the Snowden Substack. And it's by Christopher Snowden. And it says, cherry picking the evidence on alcohol and health. And he's subtitled, you can prove anything if you discard 99.9% of the evidence. He goes, he has, flow charts here and all sorts of different things, that evidence that shows that alcohol is not bad for your health. I haven't read this yet. I just saw it. I'll have to read through this and see what he says. But yeah, I say the same thing. It is not bad for your health. Okay, let's see what else is available in news here. Sorry, I wasn't planning on let's see, secret loophole boosting American wine sales in China. Heavy tariffs and tax. But they're working with the importers to cut the tariffs, so that's why. Lyle Vineyards receives Napa Green certification and reduces waste by eliminating foil capsules using lighter bottles and shorter corks. Now, I pulled out a cork the other day, and that thing was like, 30 inches long. It was no, not really, but it was just unbelievably a long cork, and I was wondering why you would use a cork that big. It has to be more expensive. Corks can be expensive anyway, but when you start using longer corks, it's, well, the environmental impact too. You're harvesting them and all that, but why would you use long corks? It just seems, I don't know, just doesn't seem like a wise thing to do. But they're using shorter corks and lighter bottles, which I have seen different wineries do that, using lighter bottles, which I think is a great idea. I tried to find lighter bottles. In fact, I found a source of lighter bottles right about the time we were closing down. Regenerative agriculture, also known as carbon farming. I've never heard it called carbon farming. It's green certification and climate action, regenerative farming, social justice. Reviews of critics. Let's see what else this is. We'll use shorter corks. Longer corks can only be cut from a part of the tree that is difficult to grow and harvest. And shifting to 49 millimeter corks instead, which are more sustainable to produce. There you go. Also, the lighter bottles without a foil capsule. So just the cork popped into it with no capsule on top of it. I guess they're not doing anything else. So why can't more people do that? I mean, it's a great idea. I think use smaller or lighter bottles, smaller corks, shorter corks. It doesn't take any effort at all. I've always wondered why wine bottles are so bloody heavy anyway. I mean, if you want to use any household item for a murder weapon, a wine bottle is always thought would be a good one because they're all so heavy. So let's see what else we got here. Prosecco is propelling the imported sparkling wine category. Prosecco is really popular right now. When I was at the wine shop a couple of days ago, wandering around, picking up a couple of bottles, the Prosecco section of sparkling wines was enormous. It's like everybody's jumping on the bandwagon for Prosecco and getting it over to the States. I was in a local shop. It wasn't any chain or anything, but there's a lot of Prosecco wines there. And let's see, Southern Glazers Wine is, for instance, significant investment trust company division 2030. You know, I don't see anything here that would be interesting to everything. And let me go eliminate this and look at something else here. And let's see, America's incredible shrinking wholesale landscape. That's not. Vintage Wines Estate bankruptcy. Vintage Wine Estates has filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy and is voluntarily delisting from NASDAQ. Vintage Wine Estates is big. I think I've mentioned that before. Vintage Wine Estates is a big winemaker, and they filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Nearly 400 employees have been laid off 2 months prior to filing. Company went public with a $600 million IPO in 2021, and its shares reached as high as $12.63 a share, but then crashed. The last time the stock was setting at 11 cents. That's when it filed for bankruptcy. The company had about $475 million in assets and $400 million in liabilities. So they still got $75 million. Pay your people. Pay your people. Turnaround came up short. They couldn't get it together, and so they are filing for bankruptcy. It says here at the end of this article, the layoffs can come at a worse time as the U.S. wine industry continues to face declining sales. While stable companies are acquiring smaller brands, it's unclear what the market may be for the future in wine. So, that's, you hate to see stuff like that. Vintage Wine Sales had a lot of companies under their umbrella, if you will. Their portfolio is a better word. It included 60 labels, including Gerard Winery, Clos Pegase, Swanson Vineyards, B.R. Cohn, Vianza, Sonoma, Cameron Hughes, Windsor Vineyards, Letitia, and Layer Cake, among others. They had most of their wines were between $10 and $20 range. Vintage Wine Estates also owned and leases about 1,850 acres of vineyards and operates 11 wineries and 9 tasting rooms, employing 377 people. I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, you know, a lot of these brands are really quite common brands. They're all over the place. You see them in wine shops and all that, but they're filing for bankruptcy. And I don't know if that means that they're going to reorganize. Chapter 11, I think, is reorganization, isn't it? So they are in the wine business. That's too bad. Hope that the other wineries under their umbrella is not going to all fold up because of this. Let's see, what do we got here? Nothing. Okay, what is this? Casey Ledecky chases Wine Country's legend? Who is Wine Country's legend? Oh, this is Olympic swimmer Katie Ledecky hopes to surpass the 12 medals won by Garderian Wine's co-founder Natalie Coughlin Hall. Natalie, what year did Natalie win all of her medals? Doesn't say. It says that she has a winery now. Where does it say that she won the medals? I'm in Paris on the way to the swim venue right now, which is so exciting, she said when she got to Paris. Where is... Oh, her 12 Olympic medals from 2004 and 2008. 2004 in Athens and 2008 in Beijing. She's tied with Jenny Thompson as the most by any female American athlete for now. Let's see. I don't know how many medals that Katie Ledecky has. So, I don't know. Well, that's interesting. We have a young lady who bought herself a winery. I guess you win money for the medals, don't you? I'm not sure how that works. I've never really looked into it. Mike, do you know if you win money for a gold medal or a silver or a bronze?
Last thing I read was just like a couple of days ago, and I thought it was kind of interesting. I don't know if I haven't checked the validity of it, but it was one of those, news things that popped up, and it said that the medal winners get a lifetime pension. For the medal winners, that's what they get, besides the gold medal. But I read somewhere or saw it online or something, so it has to be true if it's on the internet. That's
right.
Yeah, that they get. They get like a lifetime of some sort of a pension. I don't know what that means, but it's like they win and they can retire. I don't know.
I don't know. I've never heard that. This is paid by the countries, or is it paid by the Olympic Committee, or
that? Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to get into more information. I did just read.
I don't know. That's interesting.
I did just read that Ledecky earned her 13th Olympic medal to become the most decorated. Woman in the American Olympic history. So she has. That came out of France.
She surpassed Natalie Coughlin Hall. Yeah,
it sounds like it. Yeah. Congratulations.
Well, if you get money, and Natalie won 12 medals, then she could afford to buy a winery.
Yeah.
That might be the way it works.
Yeah, let's see if there's anything about compensation. Performers for Operation Gold. There's a bunch of different things here that I don't know. I got to look it up because some of this you don't know if it's from a trusted site or if it's an actual thing. But
right.
Anyway, I'll have to look it up. Maybe next one. Next show we'll have an Olympian. An Olympic champion on the show.
We'll get an Olympian on.
Yeah.
I should contact I should contact Natalie Coughlin Hall and see if she got her winery here in Guardian Wines. Maybe. Well, she's in Paris right now, so we can't get her on.
Yeah, it's too late in the morning.
Yeah, she just said that she was. Yeah, we got 6 hours difference here, and so. So we'll have to wait until she comes back from Paris, and we'll see.
Right. We'll see.
So.
That's a topic.
All right. Well. Yeah, we got a guest next week, Gino. He's from the California I don't know. My head's not working right. But we're going to talk about white wines and the white wines from California. And Sunday, this coming Sunday, the 4th, is White Wine Day. Mm. So enjoy some white wine. And then, well, today is World Albarino Day and also Old Vine Day. So there's couple things you can celebrate. Some Old Vine Zinfandel. You know, go out and buy it tomorrow and celebrate it a day late. Also, August is Washington Wine Month, which is odd because they've already had a Washington Wine Month this year. So I don't know. This is the second of 2 Washington Wine Months. I guess Washington figures they make enough cool wine that they can have 2 months to dedicate it to it. So. Yeah. So we got Washington Wine Month, but World Albarino Day, Old Vine Day, and then Sunday White Wine Day. And then next week, Gino will be. Thank you, Vanessa, for taking the time telling us about your journey and about Mavericks Restaurant. Anyone wants to get a hold of Mavericks, just go online. Mavericks in Montauk. Montauk. Is that right? Montauk. Yeah. Montauk. Montauk. Okay. So just get hold of it there. And if you're up in the New York area, it's got a lot of seats in that restaurant. Jesus. Be sure to make reservations and make it quick because they're only open seasonally, possibly through September, maybe some of October. Not sure, but very seasonal. Yeah. So 5 months. That seems so odd. I mean, wow. Okay. You know, as a waiter there, I would go 5 months. You know, what am I going to do the rest of the year? I mean, it's, and then you find yourself another job that's a 12-month job, and you say, okay, I got to quit for 5 months because I'm a waiter at this restaurant, and I really enjoy it, and I get, I mean, yeah. I don't know. That just seems odd to me. I just, oh well. Yeah, seasonal. Yeah. So we're done for another week of All About Wine. All righty. We'll talk to you all next Thursday. Be safe. Have a good weekend and enjoy it. We will be watching the storm here. It's probably just going to be a good rain source like we've been having every day anyway, at least in this part of Florida. But yeah. We'll still keep an eye on it just in case because it's still early and there's supposed to be some kind of turn going on tomorrow or whenever and it's just. Yeah, I remember that. It's been, but see, they don't really know yet because it hasn't really fully developed into anything. So yeah, it's just sort of a big cluster of mess. They can do whatever they do, and they're unpredictable. But yeah, they are. Yeah, so, but they're talking about steering currents, and they're talking about the getting into the Gulf and intensifying, but they're also talking about getting into the Gulf and having the wind shear the top, and they're saying the dust from Africa could cause it. I mean, we just might get rain, which it's which is no big deal because we get, like you said, we get rain every day anyway. So minor flooding, major flooding, who knows? But just be safe either way. And, who knows? We'll talk to y'all next Thursday. Have a good week. Thank you. Yep. Thank you. Thanks for listening. Be safe. And start the video.
This concludes tonight's broadcast of All About Wine with your host, Ron. For show information, links to All About Wine on Twitter and Facebook, or to be a guest on this show, visit the show website at www.allaboutwinebtr.com. Archived shows are available for download on iTunes or on our show page at blogtalkradio.com/allaboutwine. Thank you for listening. Drink responsibly, and we'll see you next time on All About Wine.
Exit that, and for all, turn this back off, and go to the green room, I think. I'm in the green room. Yeah, I think we're off.